Hello, welcome to my channel. I am still very much a work in progress. Sorry about the camera quality. I'm trying to do what I can here. I had to up the lights a little bit because it's getting dark and I like to film a little bit later. I'm in a basement apartment and my landlords aren't home right now, and I'm hoping I can get this done before they get home because they also stay up really late. So it's like I just got to do it when I can. Um, So, yeah, welcome to Goddess and Grit. I want to talk a little bit about Palmyra and then probably do a little bit more story time about myself and things that I'm thinking about. Um, so, I would love your support if you would like to subscribe and save my channel. Um, this kind of remind me, I mean, it kind of reminded me of Bailey Sarian because she, is the original goddess of makeup and murder mystery and all of that. So it kind of like branches off from there. I did my makeup already, like most of it, some of it, because, you know, first videos are always just like, it is what it is. And if I don't just do it, it's always going to be an excuse and I'm never going to get it out. Like, I'm always just going to be like, well, I need this, well, I need that. And that's been like 6 years of me putting it off. So here I am. Um, yeah. So here we go. I'm going to talk about Palmyra. It's a little city. Well, it wasn't so little, but a little city in the Syrian desert. And it was really thriving around like the first century BC to the third century. Um, they were connected with Rome because they just, you had to do that because, you know, they were everywhere controlling everything. So they were their own city state and they had their own senate and everything like that. So it was just pretty intact and they had beautiful art. And when the Romans did come, they did have like people that really like financially helped out. And within this long colony that they had like statues of people that contributed. And I think that was really cool. Like each column had a statue on it of the person that donated, their wealth, some of their wealth to build this beautiful place. It has since been destroyed. Um, some things are standing, but it's still very much a mess. It was bombed quite recently in, you know, the years. Um, well, not recently, but you know what I mean. More recent than it's been there. but yeah, so um, this place was really beautiful. It's sad that it was destroyed. So I really think it's important for like everyone to really check it out. I did look it up on maps a lot. And you can see my, I can, you can see that my makeup on my lipstick is uneven. Um, I don't know. I don't usually wear a lot of lipstick, so, you know, I'm using the Essence, which I think is a great makeup company. Like, this is their 8-hour matte, and I love it. Like, it is literally like my absolute favorite. Excuse me. I absolutely love it. But anyway, so I'll probably like I'm gonna do a little bit of my makeup. So in that case, I will like list what I have, or I probably will eventually list it. I guess let me know if you want me to list it. I'll probably just tell you what I'm using now because it's not gonna be too much. But I do love Essence as a brand. Their mascara is amazing. Especially if you want like a dramatic eyelash. I don't have fake eyelashes on, but I mean it definitely like they're big. And I did this makeup earlier today, my eyeliner and stuff, so that was already there. But they have like waterproof stuff. And for my eyebrows, what I use is this e.l.f. waterproof brow pencil. I love it. I love that it's waterproof because it just makes my eyebrows stay. I don't really need too much done with my eyebrows because I have like millennial post traumatic stress syndrome from having thin eyebrows back in the early 2000s. So, I kind of like, I'm always there for the thick eyebrow. But anyway, I'm going to probably talk about makeup too. So bear with me. Like I said, this is going to be a trial and error run. Like, I will definitely get better. I just have to put it out there. So Palmyra, it was really beautiful. They were a big trading hub. Like, it was on the way to like the Silk Road and like India and China, and it was also like a hub for them to get stuff. Like, it was in the middle, so there was a lot of people selling stuff, trading stuff. So it was very busy, very loud, I could imagine, which is amazing. Like, I'm just thinking about it. Like, you could smell frankincense and hot stone and, people yelling about taxes and prices and getting you a fair deal and all of that. I just think it's pretty cool to like imagine that. Because our history as humans is just so full. And this place is just worth knowing about, worth looking up. Um, like I said on the maps, it doesn't show too much, but I don't know if I talked about the maps yet, but on the maps it doesn't show too much, but which I think is kind of weird. And there's a lot of modern things around it, but there's only a few. Excuse me. There's only a few pictures. Excuse me. There's only a few pictures of it. Like, there's some pictures around the Temple of Bell and like the colonnade and stuff, but not really like people. I mean, it is a World Heritage site, so maybe like a lot of people aren't traveling there, but I'd definitely be interested in seeing more. I definitely want to travel there when I get, you know, situated, which would be really cool to see. When I see like archaeological sites just on screen, like whether it's a documentary I'm watching or whatever, I get teary eyed and I have like a visceral reaction when I see like old places. It's just so amazing to me. Like, people are just so awesome. Like, we've accomplished so much, and it kind of saddens me that, you know, we're still the same. We haven't like grown very much, and like, if you really think about it. But I have faith in humanity, and I think things will get better. I hope they do. I have to be hopeful. You can't be anything else. um, but I just think Palmyra was beautiful. Um, Around I think it was the third century AD, Queen Zenobia's husband, um, Od- Odenathus, Odenathus, I probably butchered that. He was assassinated. So, you know, doesn't matter if I butchered that. He was assassinated unexpectedly, which, what is assassination anyway, if not unexpected? But so technically his son became king, but he was 10 years old. And they don't really discuss it too much, but they say, like, Queen Zenobia, his mom, basically took over everything because she was an adult. And I love her drive in this because she really didn't want another culture, another country dictating how her son was going to end up. Like, I can only imagine that time. Like, it was a scary time, and she was just trying to become powerful herself. And why not? Everybody deserves a chance, I think. Um, but she did rebel against Rome in like 273 AD, and of course that ended badly because it was Rome. So that's when everything kind of got destroyed. Their water system, reservoirs, aqueducts got destroyed, so that, if they don't have water, you can't live in the desert if you don't have water, obviously. So that kind of sucks. But I think it was just a beautiful, beautiful place, and it's worth checking out. I really also like Petra. Petra's a really cool place because I didn't really know a lot about that. I'm definitely going to do an episode on Petra. But also, if you have any ideas of different places that I should do, um, let me know. Or just anything. I like mysteries. Historic mysteries are pretty good. Just anything. I'm open to it. So ideas are welcome. Please be nice. Okay. Um, but I really just, I loved this place. I just thought it was really cool. Um, definitely worth checking out. Um, I also, it was also tied with Egypt a little bit. Like, they definitely traded with Egypt and Egyptians went there. So I think they had probably a lot of really cool stuff, a lot of pretty cool stuff. And I think like traveling there in like the second century, and they probably had amazing jewelry, and women were dyeing clothes so their hands were like purple, which I don't know if they really had a lot of purple back then because I know that was like expensive, but maybe they did. I don't know. Well, actually, yeah, they probably did because it was near the Silk Road and people from China and India were passing through, so they probably did have purple. Anyway, um, so yeah, I really love that place. I really want to do more stories, like maybe even on Stonehenge and some of the other places in England and Ireland that are very old, and they're just recently finding out new things about that. Um, I love that. But I really like talking about all of it. I'm open to anything else. That's kind of all I got on Palmyra. It's not too much to talk about. Like I said, that not too much is known, but it's amazing. It was beautiful and it's worth remembering. Um, so yeah, I will say I'm definitely open to anybody, whatever you want to talk about. I'm here for it. Or just talking about single mom stuff, living alone, being alone, it's my way of life. Um, uh, I don't really go out much, but I'm open to it. I'm really trying to focus on myself. I have to fix my lip. I really have to focus on myself and get better. And I'm really hopeful that something will happen, which I don't know if it will. Gosh, I don't know. Like, I overlined that. I don't know. But yeah, I just really love, 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 love Palmyra. I was so fascinated about it. And I will say I have learned a lot about places through Ancient Aliens. And that's the only reason I watch it is because they like go over places like that. My face is already getting oily. They already have or they have like places that are just really amazing that I've never heard of. But then I get angry because, like, oh, we couldn't have done it. It's aliens. Like, yeah, I know we don't know how. It's a lost technology that we probably will never figure out. And honestly, that's okay with me. It's mysterious. And, I give credit to humans. I think they did some powerful things. But I also love mysteries, so I can deep dive more on stuff like that. I love conspiracy theories. However, I don't agree with all of them because some of them are just completely out there. I was watching the Osbournes because recently Ozzy Osbourne passed away, and of course that was really sad. I loved the Osbournes when it came out, and I was watching. Oh, it's the Osbournes Want to Believe. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen, and they were talking about like lizard people, and that like made me crack up. And they were talking about Robert Icke. Robert Icke. They were talking about him. Richard Icke. That guy. David Icke. Whew. Okay. I'll get there eventually. Um, he, was talking about reptile people for a long time, and it's just like, what are you even talking about? Like, like how do people believe this? I mean, it's pretty fun to think about, but I think what it is with a lot of conspiracy theories, people just want to believe something else. They just want to think that things in the past are more whimsical or mysterious, but I don't really. I mean, prove me wrong. Have, if a lizard person appeared in front of me. Okay, I was wrong. But I haven't seen anything. And I'm pretty skeptical. I like to debunk everything. I'm very like, I kind of, shit on people's ideas a lot because it just makes me laugh. I don't know. Like my mom, she always thinks something supernatural is happening, and I totally like disprove her, and it's hilarious. But yeah, I I don't know. I always just tell her like, look at the sun. Like the sun's there. It probably is causing a glare, and she's like, oh. And she still doesn't want to believe me because she's like, no, it was something else. And it's like, okay, sure. I'm at that point in my life where I just agree, but in my head, I always have a logical explanation for things. Like my friend, like her lip gloss fell off the table, but I know you're listening. Um, her lip gloss fell off the table, but she like couldn't explain it. There was no wind, no anything, and I'm like, well, it could have been like how the lip gloss was because sometimes like these aren't like super flat like on the table, and it could have been the air conditioning coming on or something like that. Like literally it could be anything. It makes sense to me. But she was like, no, it doesn't make any sense. And it's just like, I don't know, science, like maybe. But I always like do that to people because I've always like debunked stuff. And that's why I love one of my other favorite podcasts is the Y Files. He's kind of been off my radar lately because he's done stories that I'm just like not into, but he's working on other shows and stuff, so like that's fine. Um, he's busy, but I loved his stories because he would tell you, like he did one on the Anunnaki, and he would like tell you all the stories and then at the end like tell you like what was like real and what wasn't, which I thought was pretty funny. Or thought is pretty funny. He still does videos like that. But recently it was one that was like kind of AI driven, and I just really wasn't into that. Like I want to hear the real stories. Um, like I want to hear like everything, the nitty gritty. I want to dig down deep. Um, so with Palmyra, I wanted to find like a mystery, but the only things like I could really find are just like why it vanished and all that. But we kind of know why because the Romans kind of destroyed it, but we don't really know why it was like ultimately abandoned after that. I guess we do because of the water, but I don't know. It's just kind of strange. Like it just disappeared. Um, I was also looking up things in like the desert oases in the desert in Egypt. Like the Siwa oasis, like that's pretty wild. And like the story about this army getting lost trying to find it. But it was like a very predominantly seen place. Um, but I don't know. It's just like these stories are wild. Like when you look at a map and you're like, "Oh, well like nobody could have been there." But at the same time, like we've been around for thousands of years. So for them to say like it's especially like America. They're like, "Oh, well nobody was here." Well, that's a lie because the Native Americans were here and there were other tribes here, and then not to mention um, Central America. Like there were tons of civilizations there, especially like the Inca, Aztecs, like all of that were around. And they're just like, well, nobody was there. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't understand why they didn't tell us this when, well, at least not me. I don't know if school has changed. I mean, I was in school in the late 90s and early 2000s. So, they didn't teach us anything. Maybe some students knew more, I don't know, but it's just like crazy to me. Like I don't know, like there were all these civilizations over there, and like Easter Island and all of that. Like it's just crazy. Like of course we were there. The only thing that they were saying is like because England and Spain went there, mostly Spain, but like I don't know, it's a lie. Like people are like, oh, but then we learned about Peru and stuff in school, and I was just like, whoa. And like how Machu Picchu now, like they think it was like a summer palace, um, which makes sense. It's absolutely beautiful. Definitely one place that I want to go. But yeah, that's kind of my spiel for Palmyra. I kind of got a little rambly there, but I'm just talking. um, so if you like what you see, please let me know. I will do any story. I can go deeper in on things too. But this was just kind of like my first episode, to see like, how it would go. Um, Papers. I'm not gonna really edit too much of this. I want it to be raw and real, and I will probably get better at editing and doing more of these things. And maybe I'll make some shorts and do like little, you know, stories about random cities or people in the past. Also like Arthurian legend, all that stuff. It's pretty interesting to me. I love it. Like anything history related. Like I should have been either an archaeologist or a history teacher, which I could still do history if I wanted to. Um, I need a job to get money to do that. Yeah. So thank you for going back in time with me and listening to me ramble. I definitely will find a better space to like do more like a in-depth cosplay look. I do have some costumes that would be good for like if I did something French, or I don't know, some of it's like Halloween costumes. I'm not gonna lie, I have a Boba Fett costume. I love Boba Fett. I love the Mandalorian, and I think that armor is like the coolest. Just a little side note. Um, Tell me more ideas of what ancient history you want me to go into. If this stirred you, subscribe, save, and please come back. Like I said, this is kind of a big channel. I mean, it's going to be about, single moms or not. I mean, if you're just a woman in general, I would like to hear from you, because I feel like we all need a little bit of empowerment and support. And I think that me doing this is a huge step. So hopefully you guys listen. We have more ruins to resurrect and more looks to build while we do it. Carry your grit, keep your grace, and I will see you soon. Bye.